the lion who raised a baby deer. The African savanna was ruled by a powerful lion named Kovu. Every animal knew his roar, and every hunter respected his strength. When Kovu appeared, zebras ran, antelopes scattered, and even hyenas kept their distance. To everyone in the valley, he was a fearless predator. But no one knew the sadness he carried inside. Years earlier, during a terrible drought, Kovu had lost his only cub. He searched for days, roaring across the plains, but the little cub was never found. Since then, the mighty lion lived alone. He hunted, survived, and ruled his territory, but every sunset reminded him of the family he had lost. One rainy season, dark clouds covered the sky. Thunder echoed across the grasslands as heavy rain poured without stopping. A herd of deer raced through the storm, trying to escape the rising floodwaters. Among them was a tiny newborn fawn struggling to keep up with its mother. The frightened baby slipped into a muddy ditch hidden beneath the tall grass. Its mother desperately tried to reach it, but the rushing flood forced the herd to move. Within seconds, the little fawn was left completely alone. It cried through the cold night, hoping someone would come. The next morning, Kovu began searching for food. His stomach had been empty for 2 days, and he followed the scent of what he believed would be an easy meal. The crying led him to the tiny deer. The frightened fawn saw the lion standing above it and closed its eyes, expecting its life to end. But Kovu didn't attack. Instead, he stared quietly at the helpless baby. For a brief moment, the little deer reminded him of his own lost cub. The memory softened his heart. Instead of using his sharp teeth to kill, he gently picked up the baby by the loose skin on its neck, just as lionesses carry their own cubs. He carried the tiny deer back to his resting place beneath a large acacia tree. The entire savanna watched in confusion. The monkeys couldn't believe what they were seeing. The elephants stopped walking. Even the hyenas burst into laughter.
Since when do lions...
A lion carrying his lunch home alive? One hyena mocked. He must have finally gone mad. Another laughed. Kovu ignored every one of them. The little deer was too young to find food or protect itself. Kovu stayed nearby while it learned to eat fresh grass. Whenever predators came close, the lion chased them away with a single terrifying roar. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. The frightened little fawn slowly grew into a healthy young deer. It followed Kovu everywhere. When the lion rested, the deer rested beside him. When Kovu walked to the river, the deer walked behind him. It trusted him completely. The unusual friendship spread across the savanna. Animals stopped seeing them as predator and prey. They simply saw them as family. One afternoon, danger arrived from outside the valley. A group of poachers entered the reserve carrying rifles and wire traps. As the young deer wandered through the grass, one of its legs became caught in a hidden snare. It cried out in pain. The sound echoed across the plains. Miles away, Kovu immediately recognized the voice. Without hesitation, he sprinted toward the sound. The hunters heard branches breaking and suddenly saw the enormous lion charging straight at them. Kovu's roar shook the ground. The terrified poachers dropped their equipment and ran for their lives. The lion reached the trapped deer and carefully bit through the wire until its leg was free. The young deer stood, frightened but alive. For the first time since losing his own cub, Kovu felt that he had truly protected someone he loved. Another year passed. The deer was now fully grown. One morning, a large herd appeared near the valley. Several deer called out, inviting the young deer to join them. It looked toward the herd, then back at Kovu. It didn't want to leave. Kovu slowly stood and gently touched the deer's shoulder with his nose. He wasn't pushing it away. He was giving it permission to live the life it was meant to have. After one last look at the lion who had saved and raised it, the deer walked toward its own family. Kovu watched until the herd disappeared over the horizon. He stood alone once again beneath the old acacia tree. Months passed. One peaceful evening, Kovu heard familiar footsteps. He looked up. The grown deer had returned. This time, it wasn't alone. Walking beside it were two tiny fawns. The little ones approached the old lion without fear. They sniffed his paws and rubbed against his mane. Kovu lowered his head and gently touched them with his nose. At that moment, the lonely lion realized something. Family isn't always connected by blood. Sometimes it is built through love, sacrifice, and kindness. As the sun disappeared behind the golden horizon, the deer and its young family walked back into the endless grasslands. The old lion watched them go with quiet pride. The savannah never forgot the lion who chose compassion over instinct. And every sunset carried the legend of the lion who raised a baby deer. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who believes kindness can change the world. See you in the next story.